Most people don't know this about me, but when I broke my neck, I woke up paralyzed from the neck down. No movement, no feeling, no plan, no idea what was going on really. And every doctor told me the same thing. Recovery will be slow. If it happens at all, it'll take your time. But here's what most people miss. The biggest battle wasn't the physical battle. It wasn't learning how to sit up again. It wasn't learning how to use my hands again. It wasn't even the pain. The real fight, the real struggle was fighting the comfort. And that's what everyone's struggling with today, right now. It's fighting the urge to stay comfortable, stay where you are, not pushing the limits, not getting up. I was fighting that voice that was saying, why try? Why even bother? If you can't do anything, why try to do anything at all? It was fighting the temptation to settle back, to wait, to give up, to hope something else would fix my life. But every tiny improvement I made, turning my wrist, pushing my wheelchair, holding a fork, sitting up for an hour at a time and then 2 hours, it was uncomfortable. It was pushing, trying, failing, trying again. And here's what I learned in rehab. And most people never learn about money either. And it applies to our money. If you stay comfortable, you stay stuck. If you avoid difficulty, if you avoid the stretch, you avoid the growth. And if you wait for things to get easier, they never will. And today, I want to show you how the same principle, the stretch, the being uncomfortable, that helped me learn to move again, is the same principle that applies to our wealth. Because the tension, the struggle, it helps us grow, just like the gym. So let's go point number one. Point number one. Comfort keeps you broke. Just like my hospital bed felt safe, your couch feels safe. Just like rehab was uncomfortable, budgeting was uncomfortable. Just like pushing a wheelchair for the first time was exhausting, starting a side hustle can be exhausting. But comfort never moved me forward. Being relaxed never helped me progress. Comfort won't help your finances move forward either. Let me tell you something most people never realize. Comfort feels good, doesn't it? But it's quietly destroying us. When I was lying in the hospital bed after breaking my neck, comfort was the enemy I didn't see. The bed was warm. The nurses took care of me. If I needed water, someone brought it to me. If I needed to move, I could ring a bell. I didn't need to try if I didn't want to. But no one could argue with the guy who just broke his neck, right? Comfort was easy. Comfort was safe. Comfort was ultimately restricting my future, killing my future. Because comfort doesn't just keep you still, it actually makes you weaker. It's exactly the same with our money. Comfort says, I'll budget next week. I'll start saving when things calm down. Everyone else is too broke. So it's fine, I'll start later. Life's too stressful. I deserve Uber Eats. I'll just this one more swipe. Comfort whispers excuses in your ear until you finally believe them. Discomfort says, get up, look at your bank account, cut your subscriptions, start that side hustle, even if you're tired, even if you've got no time. Invest, even if you don't feel like it. Learn that new skill, even if it's hard. I learned this the hard way in rehab. There was only one thing. There was a day I didn't want to go to physio at all. My hands were weak. I was tired. My back hurt. My tummy was spasming. The nurse said, I told the nurse, not today. Can't be bothered. She looked at me, said, if you skip today, tomorrow is going to be twice as hard. She was right. Skip one rehab session, you lose strength. Skip budgeting for 1 month, you lose momentum, you take a step back. Taking control for 1 year, you lose your future. When I think back about building wealth, the same pattern shows up. Every breakthrough I ever had came right after I pushed against that comfort, against that easy, buying my first rental property. Everyone said I couldn't. Starting a business with my body still struggling. Learning about money when I could barely hold a pen. It was rehab all over again, but different on my money. It was still frustrating, it was still hard, it was still uncomfortable, but it worked because comfort won't build wealth. Comfort won't change your life. Comfort won't give you options. Comfort protects your feelings. Discomfort protects your future. And if you're watching this right now, say yes, you feel stuck financially. It's not because you're dumb or you're unlucky or you're hopeless. It might just be because you're choosing comfort for too long, sitting on the couch without realizing that's why you need to actually do something. Okay, point number two. Okay, two. You're busy. Well, I'm busy too. But you're not building. We're all busy. Sometimes we use busy as an excuse, right? You're just busy doing the wrong things. And this is why everyone stays stuck, they stay broke. There's a massive difference between being efficient and being effective. Efficient is doing things right. Effective is doing the right things. See the difference? And here's the truth you don't hear enough. You can be highly effective at things that don't move your life forward, move the needle in your favor, make you advance. You can be efficient at scrolling, efficient at watching Netflix, complaining, telling the referee what they should be doing, organizing your house for the 47th time, researching instead of acting, learning instead of applying, working more hours without changing your direction. It feels productive, but it's not effective. I learned this lesson twice, once in rehab and once with money. When I was in rehab, broke my neck, C5, C6, spinal cord injury, I could spend my hours doing exercises that felt productive. But here's the thing, if the exercise didn't help me regain function, if it didn't strengthen the right muscle groups, it wasn't effective, it was pointless. I had to learn to be uncomfortable, targeting the right muscle groups, the right exercises. And that's one thing that you can apply to your finances. People are efficient at working more shifts, trying to save $5, checking their bank balance twice, 5 times, 10 times, saying, why isn't it rich? But none of these are effective. What's effective? The right actions. Creating a surplus, capturing a surplus, increasing your income, starting a side hustle, investing early, cutting distractions. Here's the line most people never want to hear. Working hard doesn't build wealth. Working on the right things builds wealth. I see people working themselves to the ground, 2 jobs, overtime, late nights, and I think they're the problem. The system's the problem. The system is designed to keep you trapped. You've got to break out of the system. But the real problem is direction. You're climbing a ladder so fast, the ladder's just a loop. Efficiency will keep you busy. Effectiveness makes you wealthy. Working on the right things at the right time. In rehab, effectiveness is what helped me move again. In finances, effectiveness is what helped me buy my rental properties, start my portfolio. Let me put it simply. Efficiency is motion. Effectiveness is progress. You need both in the right thing. And the people who win financially aren't always the fastest, but they are the ones always the most effective. Okay, point number 3. Here we go. 3. You're learning but you're not applying. Most people today aren't suffering from a lack of information. They're suffering from information overload. Ever heard of the internet? And they're suffering from information too much. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't need more knowledge. You need to be obedient to the knowledge you already have. Start applying it. When I broke my neck, I learned this the hard way in rehab. They would teach me exercises, movement, techniques. I could sit in my room, watch videos, whinge, complain, but I already had the information, the pamphlets, had the study, had the diagrams, had the right information, but none of it mattered unless I actually applied it, actually did something with it. Does that make sense? Say yes. Yes or yes. They explain my injury. They explain the muscle groups. They explain the recovery, how it works. But if I didn't apply it, if I didn't do anything, I didn't actually do the work, it wouldn't change my life. I need to show up and do the work, push the limits, stretch myself, be uncomfortable. And those, if we do that, we progress. And that's exactly the same with our wealth, our finances. You read books, watch this YouTube, watch TikTokers, influencers. They all say you should budget. They all said you need to invest. But one day, I should start a side hustle. One day, I'll invest. No, today. Start today. Do something. Do something today that's going to progress you, move you forward. It's amazing. Why? Because learning feels productive when applying feels uncomfortable. Learning is neat. Applying is messy. Learning is safe. Applying is risky. It exposes my weakness. Learning is encouraging. Applying demands sacrifice. I had to learn this in rehab. Information doesn't heal me. Application does. And the same it applies for our finances. You don't get wealthy by learning the surplus blueprint. You get wealthy by living it, doing the stuff, getting your hands dirty. You don't need another budget. You just need to do it. Apply it. You need to actually create something, actually stick to a budget, actually invest, actually start a side hustle. Here's the line that punches people in the chest the most. Most people aren't stuck because they don't know what to do. They're stuck because they don't want to do it. They're scared. You don't rise to the level of your inspiration. You rise to the level of your implementation. Yeah? Everything about wealth building is you need to do it. When you apply even 10% of what you know, your life changes faster than you can even imagine. Because at the end of the day, consistency beats intensity. Application beats information. Obedience beats motivation. And that's why if you want to build real wealth, you don't need more, you just need to start. Okay. Number 4. Here we go. 4. The real cost of comfort. The life you could have. Let me tell you something nobody warned you about. Comfort doesn't feel dangerous. Comfort feels comfortable, right? But it quietly steals your life, your future, your progress. When I became paralyzed, comfort almost killed my future. In rehab, the comfortable thing to do was stay in bed, let the nurses do everything, avoid painful exercises, don't sit up. This is my new life, settle, I'm done. Comfort feels safe, comfort feels reasonable, feels normal. But here's what I learned the hard way. Comfort is not safety, comfort is surrender. Every day I stayed comfortable, I lose strength, I lose momentum, I lost progress. I watched other guys choose comfort. They avoided the pain, avoided the grind, avoided the discomfort, the stretching. And they didn't just lose progress, they lost purpose. They lost direction because they felt like they were losing more. They're broke because comfort convinces them to stay exactly where they are. Comfort says budgeting's too hard, saving can wait, investing is too confusing. Need to start to take the real price of comfort isn't money, it's a version of you that never gets to exist. Does that make sense? The you who became debt free build a business, build a side hustle, build a surplus, own real estate, left an amazing inheritance to your children and their children's children. I want that to be me. See, in rehab, the pain of moving was temporary. The cost of not moving was permanent. I wanted to be able to move and do things myself, help others, not be a burden. The pain of discipline is temporary. The cost of comfort is lifelong. Comfort keeps you scrolling instead of learning, spending instead of saving, wishing instead of working, dreaming instead of doing, surviving instead of building. Here's the punchline. Comfort is the most expensive addiction on earth. It costs you your potential, your progress. It costs you your purpose if you stay comfortable. I wouldn't be here today teaching if I didn't apply some things, didn't start investing, didn't start building, creating a surplus, start investing. Yeah? This is uncomfortable. Not everyone can do this. But if you start to do the little that you know how to do, wow, your life can change. Okay. And in conclusion, change your focus, change your future. Change your focus, change your future. So here's the truth you probably felt your gut in this whole video. Where do I start? You're one decision away from being a different life. Not a big decision, not a dramatic decision, just one decision to stop living in comfort. Stretch, move, start with intention. When I broke my neck, I didn't get the luxury of ease of just moving away and just making it all go away. No, I had to stretch. I had to be uncomfortable. I had to choose. Stay comfortable, stay paralyzed, or fight, struggle, sweat, rebuild for my future. The same decision is with you right now. That's right, you. In your body, with your finances, your focus, your future. Because the real people that are paralyzed today isn't physical, it's a mental one. It's a financial one. It's being paralyzed of distraction, of comfort and confusion. But here's the good news. If distraction can steal your future, focus can restore it, bring it back. If comfort can keep you stuck, intention can move you forward in the direction that you want to go. If you can change where you place your attention, you can change what you can achieve in your life. Let me say this clearly. You don't need more time. You don't need more talent. You don't need more motivation. You need focus, clarity. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum creates more momentum, and it creates wealth. That's how you build surplus, generational surplus. So here's the challenge this week. Take control of your focus. Track where your time goes. Cut one distraction. Not everyone, just one. Replace that 1 hour of consumption with creativity, creation. Think about what you can do and how you can create something for your life. Choose one hard thing for your future self. One hard thing that goes, my future self will thank me for doing this today. Apply that to your life. Because that momentum will stop you living distracted and start you living you directed. Your life begins today. You can start today. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.